Trojan family, what's going on? Ryan Dyrud here, USC LAFB show. One of my favorite prospects in the 27 class, I've talked about him a lot, wide receiver Eric McFarland, IMG Academy, reclassified from 28 to 27, would have been probably the top receiver in 28, and he's still a top 5 receiver in 27. Has announced some visit dates, some official visits, and USC is in clear contention for his commitment. Chad Simmons of Rivals caught up with McFarland, and some of these dates came out. He's going to be back at USC on March 7th. Remember, he was out at USC for their junior day, which was a big visit to get him to California, to campus. He's originally from Las Vegas, moved to Bradenton, Florida to go to IMG Academy, which in hopes of accelerating his recruitment, and it certainly has after reclassifying. But he'll be back at USC on March 7th. He then plans to visit Tennessee the next week during his spring break, and then he's going to be at Ohio State on April 10th. Those are all kind of unofficial visits, and he'll probably set many more as well. Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Miami, all pushing for the talented receiver. But in terms of official visits, he has an official visit with Texas A&M, one of the schools I didn't mention, but they are very much in the running for May 29th. And then he's going to be back at USC for an official visit on June 5th, and then goes to Ohio State on June 12th. So he has 3 official visits scheduled. He said he's not sure how many officials he will take. I'm guessing not a ton more than that, maybe 2 more if he does decide to take any more. But 3 locked in, and he plans to make his commitment after those official visits. So late June, early July, perhaps like a Booby Feaster July 4th announcement like last summer could be coming. So, USC's in it. And currently they have Eli Woodard committed. Tomorrow, Friday, Quentin Hale is announcing his commitment, and the expectation is it will be to USC. So that would put USC at 2 receivers. And as I keep saying, I think 3 is what they're taking. 4 would be the max, which kind of sounds, I know some of you probably think it sounds crazy considering they took 6 last cycle, but they're really kind of building up these 2 receivers for the future and then maybe take even less in 28. But I think 3 is the sweet spot. And if they're able to get Woodard, Hale, and McFarland, to me, that is a home run receiving core for the 27 class. So Ohio State, Texas A&M, and USC certainly feeling like the front runners, considering those are the 3 official visits that he has on the docket at this moment. When speaking to Chad Simmons, he said of the visit, he said, "I hadn't been there since middle school, so it was big to get back. I spent time with the coaches and learned more about the people. Coach Savage will focus on the slot receivers, and I had a great time with him. I met with everyone, and I really like USC. They've come on hard, they develop receivers, and I like what they're doing." USC's never had an issue with developing receivers and producing high-quality receivers and putting receivers in the NFL. Even during down years, you have the likes of Michael Pittman Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London during the Clay Helton era, and they're all great NFL players and had good collegiate careers. Once Lincoln Riley get here, I know Jordan Addison, depending if you think he's a USC product or not, was a Blitnikoff winner before, but came to USC, had another great year, ended up being a first-round pick, and has overall, in terms of just football, had a good career with the Vikings. And then obviously Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane, Mekhi Lemon being the Biletnikoff winner, both those 2 guys fully being developed at USC from the jump, from recruitment and onward. And so there is, and then obviously the history when you look of all the greats, Big Mike, Dwayne Jarrett, Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, you go down the list, Marquise Lee. So no short of great receivers at wide receiver U. And so that is an easy selling point for guys like McFarland. The recency of it is a better selling point. And then the future of not just USC as a program, but the wide receiver position and the youth movement they have and the ability to get on the field very quickly. And, you look at the future, let's just say in 27, when McFarland would be a freshman, you've got Tanook Hines, who would be in his 3rd year. he would seemingly be the leader. We'll see if Terrell Anderson comes back for another season or he goes on to the NFL. But let's say Tinook Hines, third year, leader of the room. You've got Trent Mosley, Boobie Feaster, Caden Dixon, Wyatt. And then you got Quentin and others too, obviously, many others, great ones. But those are the kind of the big names. And then Eric McFarland. Your two slot studs would be Trent Mosley with Eric McFarland kind of as the freshman roaming into that role. So great to hear this. I love this. I'm fired up about this kid. You know, I was huge on Trent Mosley, and I obviously still am. But he was like my, I don't know if sleeper is the right word, but based on his rankings, sleeper of the 26 class, like a guy that I'm like, this guy's going to make an impact from day one, even though he might be considered the third or fourth best receiver in the class per rankings. That's how I feel about McFarland. And his rankings are high. I mean, he's top 5 in rankings. I think he's a 21st player nationally. Pretty high up there in terms of just overall. Let's see here. I'll give you the exact number so I'm not making anything up. The 24th overall player nationally, the 4th ranked overall receiver. Again, 4-star because of the reclassification. Good shot. He could jump to a 5-star. But so that's the latest. USC, again, not an official top 3, but based on the official visits scheduled, USC, Ohio State, Texas A&M, going to come down to it. So if he is the third and final, well, again, we'll see Quentin Hale, but if Quentin Hale does ultimately commit to USC, McFarland could potentially be the third and final receiver USC takes in the 27 class. Let me know your thoughts on McFarland. I know I've talked about him a bunch, but that's just one to give you the latest on that. So hit that like and subscribe. Drop your comments below. Have another recruiting update coming for you soon. Stay tuned for a quick word from our friends over at Sleeper. Appreciate you, family. As always, fight on. Hey, Trojan family. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching the USC LAFB show. Before you go, let me tell you quickly about our friends over at Sleeper. Go right now, download the Sleeper app. It's the #1 sports app, not just for season-long fantasy, but they've got live pickers. They've got live stat updates. They've got a chat. You can chat with other users, plus the daily pick'em, which is a blast, or daily fantasy, whatever you want to call it. You go and pick 2 to 8 players across any sports. If you're talking USC, go choose J.D. Maiava in his next matchup. Pick more or less passing yards, more or less touchdowns. You stack those, and you can win real money. When you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code USCLAFB. You're going to get a match deposit up to $100. Put in $100, you get $100 free to play with from Sleeper. Put in $10, they'll match you that $10, so now you're sitting at $20 to play with. But also, right now, for any new users, no deposit required. You get $20 free entry. You can stack both. You can get the $20 for free, go make a deposit, use USC LAFB, and now you've got a bunch of free money to play with right there on the Sleeper app. Check it out, Trojan family, and when you do, tell them the guys at the USC LAFB sent you.